I was asked to speak today a little bit from our perspective as a city who is relatively new to the land trust world. And I just want to talk a little bit about how we initiated our program and where we've taken it. First of all, again, my name is Brian Hartman, and I'm the program manager with the city's Housing and Redevelopment Authority, the HRA. And we do a variety of different housing initiatives. We operate a Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Rent Assistance Program. We do a substantial number of rehab loans to single-family homeowners in our communities. So we're kind of a full-service HRA, and we get involved in a lot of different areas of the housing world in the city. And one of the things that has been a top priority for our city council over many years is affordable home ownership opportunities. And they have challenged us as staff over the years to seek out and find different ways to make housing more affordable to people to live in the community and to purchase. They're also very strong supporters of affordable rental housing. But they certainly have that focus as well on home ownership opportunities. So back in 2016, Janet Limbo from Homes Within Reach contacted us. They were looking to expand their service area in suburban Hennepin County. And so we had some conversations at the staff level about what that might look like, what kinds of funding that would need to be committed by the city, where we might get those sorts of funds, and how would it be accepted by not only our HRA Board of Commissioners, but ultimately our City Council. So we did that work. We did some education with our City Council and our HRA Board of Commissioners, talking about how the land trust works. And the piece that our council really focused in, and also our HRA commissioners, what they really liked about the program was the long-term affordability that the land trust model presents. While it's not a model that will create huge numbers over a short period of time, but it does create a long-term affordability with a 99-year ground lease. And that was very, very attractive to both our commissioners and our city council as well. From there, we needed to identify a funding source. And the way Janet and Homes Within Reach approached us is that they were looking for a contribution from the city of $50,000 per purchase rehab, and we needed to identify a source for that. And we looking at the various resources that the city had. We identified our Community Development Block Grant Program, the CDBG program, as a likely source. We are an entitlement community. We're lucky in that way that we've been a recipient of the block grant for as long as it's existed, essentially. And we carved out some of that in our budget. And we took that first to our HRA board, and they agreed with allocating those funds through that block grant, and then we took that to our city council, and it was kind of a love fest, and it was great. And they certainly approved of the model, of the long-term affordability that the land trust would present. We initially started out with doing 2 homes per year. We're up to 3 if we can make the numbers work. But it's, from my perspective as the staff person, it was really essential for us to start early in building and educating our decision makers, our elected officials, our Board of Commissioners, our HRA, about how the land trust model works. You know, how is it different from other programs and opportunities out there like Habitat and those sorts of things. So once we got to that point where the decision needed to be made, they were extremely supportive. We are, certainly looking forward to a long-term relationship with Homes Within Reach, and we would like to do more. We're hoping to have some conversations about perhaps even doing new construction through the land trust. And it's been, a terrific model and for the community. We have completed 4 purchase rehabs so far through the Land Trust. And we've served a variety of different types of families. We have served one family that has 5 children in a very, they needed a large home, and we were able to accomplish that, and that was terrific. We also did a project with a tax forfeited parcel that was a blight to the neighborhood, and they brought it back to life, and it's just a tremendous asset now to that neighborhood. We're bringing new families into our community, or families that live in our community that could not afford to purchase. And we're also bringing children into our community, and I'll tell you, our school district loves that. So, from our perspective, working with Homes Within Reach has been extremely painless. They do all the heavy lifting as far as purchasing the homes, finding them, doing the rehab. And so we are kind of a silent partner, a funding partner, of which they have many. I mean, we're not the only person or agency or city filling the gap that they need. They have to put together resources from multiple funders in order to get a project done. But from a city perspective, it certainly hasn't been a huge time eater of my time or anything. And so, you know, I really give it to them for operating such a great program.
Now, these homes that you're talking about, are the city owning those homes and then going to sell them to the residents, or how's that working?
So the question is whether the city owns the homes when you're working in the...
So typically, Homes Within Reach is out there in the market like any other buyer. So they're out there competing with any other buyer. They're making offers on homes that are offered for sale, typically through MLS. So they're out there just like any other buyer, except for one instance where we had a tax forfeited home that came through the county. That was an exception, but typically they are out there in the standard real estate market.
Has your annual budget changed when you went from 2 to 3 homes?
Did your annual budget change when you increased from 2 to 3 homes per year?
Yes, we went from $100,000 to $150,000.